All right, and welcome back to day 18, Monday, April 18th, which for 2022 is tax day. So if you're like me, hopefully you enjoyed a nice refund. If you had to pay in, sorry, but I don't know. Uncle Sam, I guess, needs their money. Now, we've been talking a lot of different options and ways to get started in real estate investing. And since April 18th is tax day where tax filings are due, and you can see, hey, do I get a refund? Do I have to pay in? Figured this might be a good talking point to potentially indirectly get involved in real estate investing. I say indirectly because that's not the beginning point. It could end up being as you get a property, but it's an investment opportunity that not a lot of people know about. Isn't available anywhere, but it's a very unique option out there. You can do this yourself. I'll have some resources in the show notes of this video. One book, The 16% Solution, has a wealth of information as well as some websites. Like I said, you can do this on your own. You can do this as a partnership, or you can even invest in a fund that invests in these. So you can kind of leave the heavy lifting up to investors that have a lot more time and have maybe even decades of experience of investing in this. So what is this investment? I've talked long enough already. So since it's tax day, where taxes are due on the federal level and many state level, we're going to be talking about tax liens. So what is a tax lien? Maybe we'll take a step back here and just go off of what the liens are. Now, a lien is essentially an attachment to a property that for anything to happen with this property, this lien must be satisfied. A mortgage that everyone's probably familiar with would be an example of that. That is a lien on the property. If you don't pay the mortgage, they can take your property. Mechanics lien is another common option where, say, hire a contractor, say, hey, I want to put on a new addition, a new deck, build a bathroom, whatever the case may be, and then you just say, I'm not going to pay that guy. Thank you for doing the work for me. Mechanics lien is an option where the contractor can place a lien on your property that eventually basically that property cannot be sold or changed hands until that lien is satisfied. So with that, as far as the definition, then what is a tax lien? So depending where you live, I'm assuming everyone watching this probably lives in the United States, but I think this is pretty standard around the world, is if you own a little property, regardless is if you have a mortgage on that, you own it free and clear, and maybe even rent from a landlord, that property is subject to property taxes for the local jurisdiction, usually on a county and city level. And I don't know, I'll just put in some round numbers here. Say it's a $100,000 property. And I don't know, we'll just say $2,000 a year is the property taxes on that property. So now those property taxes obviously go to the local jurisdiction, pay for roads, pay for the fire department, local schools, police, local government, etc. Now, typically every good tax-paying citizen pays those taxes, maybe begrudgingly, but we typically all pay our quote fair share to the local jurisdiction. In this case, it's property taxes. Now you might be asking, what happens if, say, that property owner doesn't pay the property taxes? There's numerous options or numerous reasons that this may happen. Maybe it's an out-of-state owner that just has let the property go and doesn't care about it anymore. Maybe someone inherited the property and they just, don't care about the taxes. It's like, I'm not paying the property taxes. I don't live there. Maybe it's a distressed homeowner that owns the property free and clear, but maybe that $2,000 property tax bill is, maybe that's a real financial hardship for them. So in this case, as we mentioned with the government, still needs that money to, pay the school teachers, pay the police department, pay the bills, but this homeowner's not paying. So what do? Well, in many states, not all states, but in many states in the US, they have what's called a tax lien, where they essentially put a lien on the property for the unpaid tax balance. Now, what does that mean? So basically these tax liens can then be sold at auction because the government says, well, we need this $2,000 and this property owner, for whatever reason, isn't paying us. So we're going to be putting a tax lien on this property, and we're going to sell that tax lien. Now, just going really simple here. Like I said, these typically go to auction. Many times they're online. People, organizations, banks, investment companies, there could be a whole slew of entities bidding on this same one. So, this might be bid up and the interest rate goes down. You could be getting outbid, but we're just going to keep the general concept of this very simple. We have a tax lien here at $2,000. And I'll just make this a little document because that's essentially what you're getting if you were to purchase this or win the auction for it. And you're in for $2,000. That's what you're basically going up to the county office or maybe the city office and say, hey, I'll pay homeowners back taxes. They owe $2,000. I'll pay the $2,000. So now the government has the $2,000 for their police departments, their roads, their schools, etc. So where does this come in as an investor? So now you've just paid $2,000. You've basically paid the back taxes to the individual or to the homeowner. And now, depending on the tax lien state, interest rates have been anywhere from 10% all the way up to I think 30%. Can't remember off the top of my head, but I know some states can get really high in the interest there. So let's just say this property has a $2,000 tax lien at a 10% interest, just kind of high level here. Some states that sell tax liens, Iowa, Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Kentucky, Ohio, I believe. Those are just a number of states that are tax lien states. So you as the investor come in, you pay off, here's $2,000. I'm going to pay off the homeowner's back taxes, and that lien is paying me 10%. So what happens here? We have a homeowner that now has a lien on their property. That property can't be sold. That property can't be refinanced. Nothing can happen with that property until this tax lien is paid off. And this tax lien is now accruing interest at 10%. Like I said, maybe even higher. I believe Iowa, I think, is like 18%. I know some states have been even higher, but for simple numbers, we're going to say 10%. So let's just say a year passes. You've already paid the property tax for this delinquent homeowner. Now the $22,000 bill is $2,200, or a 10% return on your investment. Now, let's just say that this has gone on for a while. Again, every jurisdiction is a little bit different, but a year has passed and this property owner is still not paying. So what are the options? Well, like I said, this is a lien on the property, and a lot of people don't know this. Tax liens actually supersede any other lien that's put in place. So if there's a mortgage, there's a mechanic's lien, anything else on that property, this tax lien has to be paid off first before anyone else gets paid. That includes the bank that has the mortgage. So hypothetically, let's just say you had a tax lien or you purchased a tax lien on this property, and maybe it did have a mortgage on it, and maybe the homeowner got behind on the mortgage as well as the taxes. Well, if the bank has an $80,000 loan on this property, they're not going to let it go and get superseded by a $2,000 tax lien. They may go ahead and purchase it, get the taxes paid up, or they may even pay you the $2,200 and get that tax lien cleared up so they can still get paid, maybe go into foreclosure or work on a short sale or something along those lines, basically so they get whole. But let's just say this home has no other mortgages, no other liens on it. It has just a tax lien. That's it. So we have a $100,000 property. It's got $2,200 outstanding balance. Again, depending on jurisdiction of when you can start foreclosure proceedings, take ownership of the property. If they have not paid a lien back, that's going to vary state by state. But we're just going to say, all right, Mr. Homeowner, we are at the end date. You either need to pay me $2,200 or I'm taking your house. That's basically the two options. And keep in mind, this tax lien is backed by the local government. So this isn't just, some back of the napkin contract. This is like I said, this supersedes even mortgages and mechanics liens. So the property owner says, well, yeah, I don't want to lose that house. I just whatever had a lot of things going on in my life. I got sidetracked. I'm behind on a ton of bills. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and pay it and get that lien removed. $2,200, $200 interest, $2,000 principal payment. You just made a 10% return in 1 year on a tax lien that is affixed to a property that is guaranteed or backed by the local government. But let's just say for whatever reason, the homeowner doesn't want to purchase or pay the property taxes. Again, there's a plethora of reasons that could happen. So now essentially what could, not always, very unlikely, what could happen is that you can take over this property because you have a lien on it. That lien needs to be satisfied. So, all right, you and your attorney started the foreclosure process, whatever the local jurisdiction has in place. So you just got $100,000 property for $2,200. Again, can this happen? It can. Very, very unlikely, but it can. And it is a way that some people have gone and started in real estate investing. Now, again, you want to do your due diligence when you're looking at the tax liens. Don't just say, oh, there's a $2,000. I got that. It pays 10, 20, 25% interest. Sounds good. Well, maybe that house has been abandoned. Maybe that house has, I don't know, maybe it's a commercial property. Maybe it's an old gas station. Yeah, maybe you can get that property for $2,200. But if you take over that property, you got to get the EPA involved and get an old gas tank taken care of. You got to do soil samples. You got to make sure that all the gasoline and other chemicals are taken out of the soil. Who knows? It might be so horrible that the property is just almost uninhabitable. It's, not uncommon that it might be worth $100,000 if everything was fixed up and brought up to snuff. But if it cost you $100,000 for abatements and getting all the government agencies involved, it might not be worth it. So what might have started off as a good investment doesn't make sense in the long run. But high level, this is an option that you can get started in real estate investing. Like I said, numerous states in the United States have these, and numerous tax liens are sold and auctioned off every single day. Where option one, you buy the tax lien, the homeowner pays you off, you get a nice return on your money. Or option two, they don't pay, you still have a lien on the property, goes into foreclosure, and you end up with a property for essentially pennies on the dollar. Again, like I said, unlikely, but it does happen. And I say that unlikely because unfortunately, a lot of videos and resources on the internet are making it sound like, oh, you can get a property for pennies on the dollar and anyone can do this. It's like, yeah, and I might be elected to the board of the Tesla board of directors tomorrow when Elon Musk pays me $500,000 salary every year. It's possible, but very, very, very unlikely. So as we close out this for Monday, April 18th on tax day, just wanted to cover another option that you can get started in real estate investing or have another investment income stream, which is called tax liens. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video on way number 19. Take care.